中国中远海运集团的货船上正在准备和他们一起通过巴拿马运河。这个就是我身后就是我们中远海运的这个中远海运玫瑰轮、茉莉花轮。然后呢，在我们正前方可以看到，我们已经抵达了这个船闸的入口。然后再过10几分钟的时间呢，我们就要通过这个船闸。这里呢是扩建后的巴拿马运河的新船闸。那我们在右手边
This is a new lock of Panama Canal after its reconstruction. And if the camera is clear enough, you could see the previous lock.
那今天呢，我们也是经过了一早上的紧张的准备工作，然后我们
After
船
one
下
whole
前
morning's
边可
preparation,
以看到已经有一个拖轮。
now you could see that we have the ropes connecting this ship with our cargo ship. After the lock is opened later on, we are gonna cross by the first such lock.
今天下来的我将通过直播的方式来带领大家跟我们一起体验一下货船通过闸门
And today I'm gonna show you how the cargo ship is crossing by this lock with this towboat. And also in this live streaming, we are quite lucky. We have with us Captain Yin Li Ming from Costco. Could you please say hi to our viewers? Hello everyone. I come from Costco branch in Panama. I am manager of the finance department, Mr. Yin Li Ming. I'm now working here in Panama. I have 24 years of navigation, starting from 1987 when I graduated, and I have always been working on the ship of Costco. How many years have you been the captain? Starting from 1999, I've been a captain of Costco. So almost 34 years of experience of navigation. And now you are mainly in charge of the Panama affairs of Costco, right? First of all, as we know, Panama Canal is connecting the Atlantic and the Pacific Oceans, and it is playing a pivotal role in the international trade. And also this channel is about the major economic source of Panama. Every year, according to the statistics, Panama Canal would create about $2 billion of revenues for Panama. And as to population here, it's only about 4 million locally. That's why the Panama Canal has created a myriad of wealth for the local people. The local residents also rely on tourism for their income. Panama Canal is quite a busy waterway. There will always be ships coming in and out. And you could see now we are gonna walk this way from Pacific to the Atlantic Ocean. Now we are moving closer to the lock.
“因为其实并不是，一个是为了今天一大早就能够过船闸，然后其实并不是所有的船。
Sorry, just now we just got the signal off. So let's continue our live streaming. What is this sound? When there is one ship crossing by this canal, there will be such a warning. I see, you could see the red light is on, and also it is giving out the signal, which means the lock is about to open very soon. Also, on the opposite side, we could see one cargo ship arriving at the second lock. When the ship crosses by the lock, they have to lie in a queue and cross by one. So we have to wait until the previous cargo ship leaves this one lock. Can we start to make an entrance? Actually, we could see previously we have very high water level next to this lock, but now the water level is decreasing. When that water level is almost in parallel with the water level on our side, then the lock in between the two sides would be opened. For this one lock in front of us, it has once broken some world record. It could be said as the largest lock of the world. It is as high as the height of the 11th floor building. And now, from where we are standing, it's also very high from the ground. It's about 18.3 meters below the water surface already. So in total, this height is about as high as 11 floors. And also, the ship is as heavy as 4,000 tons. And we could still see on the other side of this lock, the water level is still declining. How much time does it need for the water level to be reduced to the right level? It takes about 10 minutes. So usually we have to wait for 10 minutes. So, according to you, it takes about 10 minutes for the water level to be reduced to the perfect level. And now we could see on the other side, the lock is already opening. Now 5 minutes more. What is the width of this lock? It's about 55 meters wide. So after reconstruction, the width of this new lock is 55 meters, and it takes another 5 minutes for the lock to be opened. So for this lock that weighs about 4,000 tons, it takes about 5 minutes for it to be totally open. That's a miracle. And because of our advanced designing philosophies. And also for the length, it's about 427 meters of the lock. Got it. So compared to the old lock, what is the difference? For this new lock, it's mechanical and automatic. And particularly when the old lock is broken, this new one could be an alternative, and vice versa. So there will be no disturbance to the usual cargo shipping sailing when one of those two locks is broken. We could just repair and maintain the broken one. So according to your information, the old lock, once it's broken, the ships cannot pass by. But for the new lock, since there is one backup door, so by that it means only half of this lock is opened, and for the other half, it could be just a backup door. So it's actually a backup. Now the signal is back.
我们现在看到这个闸门已经完全的打开了，然后我们马上就要进到第一道这个船闸里面了。
And now the lock is fully opened,
然后
and
其实远
we
处还可
are
以看到
crossing
上一艘货
by
船还
this
在
lock.
第二道船闸里。
We're
然后
already
一会儿
in.
呢，我们
And
要
in the
进
far
入第二
distance,
道
we
船闸
could
的时
see
候，也要
this
在
other cargo ship is at the place of the second lock. So when we will come to the second lock, we will have to wait the same amount of time. So the process is the same, waiting for the previous ship to go, and then waiting for the waterline
那巴拿
to
马运河呢，
decrease.
其实是被称作人类史上最伟大的工程之一。它伟大在
Panama
什么地方
Canal
呢？
is called one of the greatest works of mankind. Why?
水位的落差，为什么呢？因为巴拿马
There is
地峡
one
它的
difficult
水
thing
位是
about
高于
this
海平
Panama
面的。
Canal, that is the
在
difference
开
of
凿
water
运河的
levels.
时候，其实在巴
Why?
拿马运河要通
Actually, the water level of Panama is higher than the sea level, so that's the difficult part. That's why
高度海拔高度，所以呢，
when we want to build those works, we need to connect with another river, and that river is about 26 meters, in order to mediate this level of difference between the Panama Canal and the sea level. And as I said, in the process there will be a whole procedure like waiting for the previous cargo, waiting for the water level to be reduced, and also the ship will rise and along with the water level. When the lock is as high as 20 meters, 5 to 6 hours later, on the Atlantic side, we will reduce the level of water, and then the water will be poured into the Atlantic Ocean. In total, this process takes about 12 hours. So by building such a lock, we are actually handling the water level difference on the two sides. From the entrance of Pacific Ocean, we will sail and then navigate into the Atlantic Ocean. This is a towboat. Yes. We are already in front of the first lock.
我重新给大家船长给我们讲的这个通过运河是怎么运作的，因为刚才信号可能有点卡。
According to the captain, when we cross by the canal, I would love to repeat the information because just now the signal was poor. Since when we dig Panama Canal, there is a difference of water level because the lake of Gatun was about 26 meters high. So from Pacific Ocean to the lock in between, we will have to go through 3 locks. Every lock will have to rise the water level by about 8.5 meters, and after 3 rounds, then when it comes to the third lock, the height would be the same as the Gatun River, and then when we cross by the third lock, the water level will be again reduced to the same level of the Atlantic Ocean level. So now we could see the towboat is slowly dragging us. We are already moving forward very slowly. And this toll gate could perfectly control the position of this cargo shipping in case we collide against the two sides. The towboat is very flexible. It could control all directions. On our right side, we could see the side of this lock. And this is the lock that is about to be opened. In the distance, we could see the 3 reservoirs, but the camera cannot capture very clearly those reservoirs. It's okay. This is also the difference of the new lock from the old lock, because the new one is equipped with 3 reservoirs. Why is that? One lock is equipped with 3 big reservoirs to make full usage of the recycled water. So our recycling rate of those water will be like 60%, so that reservoirs play a key role here. According to the captain, in this section, we have to go through 3 rounds of water level increase, and for every such round, every lock is equipped with 3 reservoirs. And the function of the reservoir is to pour the water from the reservoir to the lock, so that the water level in the lock area will be increased. And according to the captain, 60% of the water in this section could be recycled. That's the big difference from the old lock. All of the water in the old lock area will be pumped into the ocean. But what is the point of the recycled water? I think it's because the operation of the Panama Canal will be independent from the weather conditions. In the dry season, the reservoirs and the recycled water would guarantee enough water supply. In Panama, there is dry season and the rainy season. From January to April is the dry season. During that dry season, the Gatun River cannot be used anymore, so by relying on the reservoir, we will meet the water demand here. So after the dry season, the old lock will pour all of those water into the ocean. So when the dry season comes, the water will not be sufficient enough for the usage, and it cannot carry that heavy cargo ship anymore with the water level decreasing. So in the dry season, with this new lock, we can actually rely on the 3 reservoirs, and in total we have about 6 reservoirs. And with those water supply, we can guarantee the water level in this Gatun River will always be at the normal level. If we pump all of those water into the ocean, then it cannot carry heavy cargo shipping. What is the size of the cargo shipping here crossing by this new lock required? for 13 for about 13600 tons. That's totally enough. The length is about 466 meters. So that's the size of this new canal works. Previously, the length is only 32 meters. Previously, we can only allow containers at about 5,100. But now we can triple that amount. So with this new lock, the capacity has been tripled. Of course, the revenues would increase a great deal. So for the cargoes crossing from the Pacific to the Atlantic, now we can use only one cargo ship to finish all of those cargoes. According to the captain, for the same amount of cargoes, if we go by the previous cargo ships or the previous lock, we may have to rely on 2 ships to complete the transportation. But now with this one lock, we can complete it with only 1 ship. So the cost is going to be reduced by about 10%. Panama Canal is the biggest waterway connecting Atlantic and Pacific Ocean. Recently, with the shipping manufacturing sector's development in Panama, and also the speed of those cargo ships have been accelerated to get in line with the new trend of the navigation sector in the world. Starting from 2017, Panama government decided to extend the project of Panama Canal. And I remember that in June, it was put into operation. And I could still remember that the first ship crossing by the new Panama Canal was a ship from COSCO. I was reporting that great event. It was thrilling, and it left me many beautiful memories. Yes, that was June 26, 2016. We had a first ship crossing by the new canal. It's called COSCO Panama Canal, Panama ship. And it was quite a memorable event for COSCO. I could remember that when we were reporting that event, almost all big media groups from around the world gathered here to cover this story. Now we're half an hour away. I have to explain. The signal is not very good here, so we may get off suddenly, so please forgive us and be patient. Just now the captain told me that from the Pacific side, if we sail towards the Atlantic with those 6 locks, it takes about 12 hours for a ship to complete the sailing. And from arriving at the Panama Canal to live in the canal completely, the total time consumed would be much more than 20 hours, of course, because from preparation to quarantine and inspection and lining in a queue, all of those processes would take time. What are the procedures required for such a navigation, and what is the charge? You need to use EDCS system to apply electronically. It's called EDCS system. And you must apply on that platform 10 days before coming. And then for the cargoes, for the crew members, the equipment on the ships, the animals and plants on the ships, all of those information must be provided to us, and then we get such information from this system. So before they arrive, we will have such an inspection and quarantine process, and then we would give such a permission based on the quarantine. Of course, we have to do the quarantine first before giving out such a certificate. So, actually, that means we have a submission process. We must report clearly what is the cargo and what is the amount of the cargo and what is the health conditions and what about the equipment. In that way, we could guarantee safety to the full. After seeing safety issues, after guaranteeing safety on the ship, we can give out the permission. Exactly. We also need to check the blind points and all of those corridors on the ship must be checked. If there is no problem at all, we will give the permission. I see. I think now we are entering the next lock, and after closing the first lock behind us, what will we do next? I think it takes about 120 minutes in total. I have to explain again. According to the captain, since the cargo ship is moving very slowly, so in total it takes about 20 to 25 minutes to cross by those locks. We have some personnel in charge of different positions, and they have to exchange information. Now let's move into the cabin. What is this used for?
轮。好，我们进到这个驾驶舱看一下。来，您请。哇！相当于需要有任何外面操作。
再拿一边，把这个设备可以走到外面操作。
哦，所以是我们现在这个。
How do you operate those machines?
您能给我们介绍一下这操
Now
作
let's
台
look at what is the controlling station looking like.
这个主要是
Could you explain how do you operate?
不同这个数据，这个航向啊。
There will be data transmitted in, telling us about the navigation direction, the sailing speed, and so on. You could see this is to get some idea about the distance. All of those would be displayed here. Now let's walk outside. Let's see what are the workers doing outside. Maybe you could talk to me outside. Let's not disturb them. I fear we would disturb their working right now. It's okay. It's basically done here, so our talking would not disturb them. Here, this is the head of the ship. We're almost there. We're almost approaching the end. Very soon, like the captain said, there would be some fixture to fix this ship, and then the water will start to get stored. Because without the fixture, then the ship would shake a lot. That would have some impact. Now we can see in the far distance there are 3 reservoirs. For every lock, there are 3 reservoirs. So in total, there are 9. I assume that on the side of the Atlantic Ocean, there will still be 9 reservoirs. Yes. So in total, for the new Panama Canal, there are 18 reservoirs, 9 on one ocean. And I see that the next ship waiting in line is also crossing by the Americas Bridge. And on our left side, we could see the landscape of the Panama City. Now, could we get back to the cabin? I heard that when the ship is sailing on the ocean, there would be no signal. Yes. The reason why we can have signal right now is because it's very close to the land. But when we are sailing on the ocean, there would be no signal at all. for the crew members.